Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Adventures in Beekeeping. My name's Kevin McMahon, and we're continuing the journey here. Another first for me is doing a little grafting, queen grafting, queen rearing, queen grafting. Um, so yesterday I actually did a video of me um, organizing this cell starter and the cell finisher, but for whatever reason the video was never recording or something like that. But so I didn't get it on video as to what we did, but we set up a cell starter and a cell finisher yesterday morning. I'll be honest with you, you really didn't need to see it. There's plenty of guys out on YouTube that have some great step-by-step instruction, and that's essentially where I got it from. Um, and if you really want a good channel for step-by-step on how to do queen grafting, I suggest you follow jzbz. He's got some excellent tutorials on his channel. Again, my channel isn't about being a tutorial. It's more of a journal of me, my journey through beekeeping. Successes, failures, everything. So you see what I do, and the successes or failures that incur. I try to edit some out just for length of time, but pretty much I show if I get stung, you see it. If a frame of bees hits the ground because I dropped it, you'll see it. You know, if a hive dies out. That wasn't successful, like last episode, well then you'll hear about it and you'll see it. You'll also see some inspections and things like that when things are going well, queen releases, whatever. Again, this is just a journal of me. But anyways, this is my cell starter for my grafting. And yesterday, what I did was I installed a bunch of nurse bees. I shook them off from a hive over there from from my cell starter, believe it or not. And so this is a 5-frame nuke, and this is just an added vent box. It gives about another 6 inches of space. It has vents on the outside, and it actually has even vents on the bottom. It was cool last night, 40 degrees. Got down to, and I set it right on the ground because the ground is going to be a little bit warmer. Probably kept the bees warm. It'll do that tonight too, so it's because it's supposed to get down to 45 tonight when I do the grafting. But I wanted them to be queenless for a day before I actually did the grafts. What I have in here is a frame of honey and pollen, empty frame, it's a built-out comb frame, and then I have my grafting frame, and then another empty frame, another built-out comb, and that'll sandwich the two. The two will sandwich the grafting frame, and I have my grafting frame with 3 layers, with about 13 or 14 jzbz queen cups, and essentially what they're doing now is cleaning the queen cups. Later this afternoon, it's still cool out. It's only 52 degrees out right now, which is a little cold for me to do any grafting. I'm going to wait till it gets up in the 60s later this afternoon, and then I'll do some grafting. But I'll pull the grafting frame, and then I'll pull. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But anyways, I just wanted to show you what I was doing here. This since I'm sealing them up, it's got the frame of honey, and pollen, and it also has a cup with water in it and a rag, just so that they don't drown, because we're sealing these bees up for 2 days, and they're going to need some moisture. This is just a 5-frame nuke again. This is top lid. Now I didn't have a top cover without holes in it. So I just put the cover on, and I kind of made that mistake. So last night I went and made this. This is going to be my top cover for this. hopefully so that bees don't escape, because that's the key to this thing, is you got to keep the bees in there. So we're going to smoke them down this afternoon, and then I'm going to pull that frame, shake it off, and then lay this down, put the cover back on, do my grafting, slide my bees back in, and we'll go from there. This is just duck cloth, and if you ever watch the University of Guelph, Paul Kelly, he uses duck cloth as his inner cover. It seems to work out well for him too. It's a little vented, but it's a very, very heavy cloth. Downside is, well, I suppose you could, he doesn't feed through his hive covers. He open feeds, so he doesn't need holes in it, but if you wanted to, you got cut little holes in this so that you could put a feeder on top. Another thing that I did, and I did this very quick this morning, this is a grafting frame holder, I guess you could say. I whipped it up this morning. It's the width of your frame, which is 17 3/4 inches, and then I believe it is, well, 6 inches wide. Yeah, I cut it at 4 1/4 plus 3/4 plus 3/4, so it's 6 inches wide, and 17 3/4 inches long. I cut. Now these are only, I mean, I use scrap lumber for this. There was nothing fancy or anything. I used 1.5 inch lumber here, and then so I cut this at 2 inches, so that there was about 1/4 inch of lip on there, so that my frame could, basically, essentially what I wanted to do is sit at a 45-degree angle, or a little higher, so that when I'm grafting, I can get this so that I'm not down. The light can shine directly at it while I'm pulling my grafts. So I got this online from Jason Chrisman, that idea. So it worked out really well. It took me all of 10 minutes to build that thing, you know, and I can keep it forever. So it is what it is. I want to take you over here, and we'll show you, well, the self finisher. And I just kind of want to go through what I did to set up this self finisher here. I had 2 brood boxes going into this, so the first thing I did was I went in, pulled frames, brood frames, and shook bees off, checked for the queen, shook the nurse bees into my cell starter, which is over there, and then I was looking for the queen the whole time. When I located the queen, I set her in a spare box, and then I pulled some brood frames from down here, and I moved them up, and I'll tell you the reason for that. I just pulled, I believe I pulled 2, and I raised them up, and the reason for that, and then so after I did that, I replaced the frames with some built-out comb that were in there, and then I took the queen, the cell that was, or the frame that was the queen was on, and I set her back into the bottom box, put a queen excluder on it. Now that'll hold her down into the bottom box, and so she won't bother us up here. Now for the next 10 days, she will not be able to lay up here, but there's brood up here, so all the nurse bees will climb up to take care of these bees. And what we're going to do is sandwich the grafting frame between those frames of brood in there. I also pulled up a frame of eggs, and it also had some 3-day-old larvae in it. So hopefully some of those eggs have hatched, or will have hatched today, and I can pull that frame, and that's the frame I'm going to use for my grafting. I'm going to sweep the bees off of it, take it with me. I'll take it inside. It's 60-something degrees today, so it's not very warm. So I'm going to take it inside with me. I'll do my grafting as quick as I can, and then get them back in here. I'll either get them back in here, or I'll take that frame and I'll transfer it to another mini nuke where I think I might have lost a queen, but I have to double check that first. I think today I'm just going to take care of this, and I'll take care of those bees at another time. So, but that's the plan anyways. Like I said, if I graft today, you gotta assume today is day 4. Queens hatch at 16 days. They get capped at 8. So 10 days from today, I'll be checking my graphs to see how many queen cells that did make it, and then I will make splits out of a couple of my my smaller nukes that are doing real well, and then I will put a queen cell in each one of those nukes. As to how many queen cells that I do have, if I have 10 that made it, well then I'm gonna try for 10 nukes. I'm gonna try some mini mating nukes. I'm gonna try 4 frame nukes, and we're just gonna kind of see where it goes from there. But I'm making bees for the future, for next year, and these are carniolans, winter hardy bee, and that's my ultimate goal, is to get a hive from a good queen. This seems to be a good queen. She's laying really well, good solid pattern. I don't know about the honey production yet because I just got this hive about a month ago, so we don't quite know that yet. But I don't have any 2-year-old hives, unfortunately. So you gotta just kind of hope, I guess, on that. And then we'll just see and pay attention to her genetics and how it goes into the future. But that's the plan, and like I said, later on this afternoon we'll do some grafting, and I'll have the video inside and show you what's going on. Okay, we're about 60 degrees outside, and we are going to smoke the bees, and I'm going to pull this grafting frame, and then we're going to go over and get a frame of eggs and larvae, 2-day-old eggs, 3-day-old eggs, or 3-day-old larvae, I should say. So first thing we're going to do is smoke it, smoke them down. Okay. So that pissed them off something fierce here. So we're going to try to do this really quick. Back on. I don't really need to put a frame in there because it's only going to be out for an hour, so there we go. But here is our grafting frame, all cleaned up by the bees. We're going to leave this here for now. We're going to head over to the cell finisher and try to find a frame of young larvae. Okay. The top cover is sticking. So we're just going to set that there. Okay. Okay, I had to get my little magnifiers here because my eyes are not the best in the world anymore. I want to get these bees down. And I should probably smoke my hands. Wow. Okay. I got my hive tool. So let's see what we got going on. Let's see if there's any eggs or larvae in here that we can kind of steal from. There are eggs in all these cells here. There are larvae up top. Those are seeks. Those are a little old. And the larvae are getting a little old there. So we're gonna look here. These are all eggs. These are almost all eggs here. I think I'm going to use this one here. I think there's a section here with the right age larva. So let's see about getting these bees off of here now. Okay. Pretty much got them all off. Okay. All right. Next stop is the grafting room. That should do it. Okay, well, I've got everything here that I need. I think. So, actually what I'm going to do, alright. Okay, we've got a frame here with some good brood. I've got this little magnifier here that was working pretty good until, of course, I want to do this. But now it wants to move on me, and I don't know really why it's moving on me. But the articulating arm is. but I'm trying to locate comma-shaped larvae. And what I got here is, this is a jzbz grafting tool. I've got a Chinese grafting tool, which is bamboo, or this one's plastic actually, and this is a Chinese grafting tool, and this one is bamboo actually. So anyways, I know it's a little dark in here, unfortunately. Don't know why it's showing up so dark, but I don't have much light. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this started. I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to try to drop these off right to left, hopefully, if I can do this right. Okay, that's the end of it. Don't know how I did. I think I hacked them up pretty good, but maybe I got a few in there, half a dozen or so, that that might make it. So we'll see. But that was harder than I thought it was going to be. I'm going to put this frame back in, and then I'll be back to get these and put them in the well, okay, grafting is done here, and we've got the grafts here. We're just gonna quick pop these in here, and it'll be up to starter colony to do its thing for the next 24 hours. So hopefully these bees will get me a few queen cells. So what we're going to do is drop this in here. Actually, I'm going to move this over a little bit here. I didn't exactly do this right. I wasn't thinking, I guess. Oh well. We'll let them do their thing. That's all there is to it.
So we'll check on this nuke tomorrow about noon, and we'll see what. Actually, this is going to be tomorrow evening. This is going to be in here for a while because I have to I have to work out of town, so it's going to be tomorrow evening before I can transfer this over to the cell finisher. So, anyway, have a good day. Happy beekeeping.